internet. Hey, there we go. How's it going, everybody? Oh, my name is SenseiSuplex, and I'm your D&D sensei, and today we have that of the grandiose session 2 of Rime of the Frostmaiden. Today we're going to be continuing on that of the crazy wild adventure and antics of these lovely individuals. So be sure to check out all the other future streams in that, streams in the future, and also that of the streams of the past if you missed the first session and all that stuff. That being said, also one little disclaimer and stuff like that. I won't be as active in the chat or like talking to the chat and interacting with them because obviously I'll be DMing and my focus is on the game, like 100%. So if you guys ever sub, follow, raid, or whatever, I probably won't be able to call it out and sort of mention it. But I'll leave that to my mods to sort of do that and all that craziness. Feel free to talk about the session and that of the chat and hang out with that of the community. And yeah, that being said, let's not waste any time. We got it a little bit started a little late because it's some technical issues, but we eventually got it figured out. But yeah, that being said, let's not waste any more time. Let's go hang out with that of our lovely cast. All right, boop, and boop, and... Okay, hello. Is audio working?
Yes.
All right, dope. So, if that is the case, everyone, let us begin with that of today's session. Alrighty. Oh boy, I always get excited for these, no matter what. Alrighty, let's do this. Hopefully let's move this way. So, I would like everyone to gather around the table and let me tell you all of Voden fable. To gather around for the tale of these band of misfits, the tale of the corruption within, and that of an everlasting frost. For this be the infamous tale of the Frostmaiden. Our journey would begin with 6 chosen souls all braving that of the frozen seas of the Azure Taiga. It'd be here that these 6 would converse with the likes of many patrons on board of that of a ship, and in doing so, they'd meet fairly interesting individuals such as Talion, a gambler of Lady Luck herself, 2 exploring bards and a gnome named Iliosa, and an oculi man named that of Leopold. However, it'd be an adorable and excitable individual in the Blink Dog, meeting all these other varying creatures of shapes and sizes. And as you all met these individuals, one in particular would strike instant fear and respect into all of the Velkin sailors amongst the ship. This being a dragonborn man scarred to hell and frozen over from the icy tundra, and Captain Dre Axel. With that, the captain would explain to their crew that they were forced to sail into that of the mist. However, that there were dangers and likely threats of the corruption up ahead. And upon entering these mists, our heroes found the corruption, and so much more. Almost like a tale of mythos, the heroes would see as 2 titans would clash, a giant sea dragon, that of a corrupted dragon, seeking to doom them all. And with the fighting rocking the ships back and forth, it'd be only the start of their problems, as corrupted gnolls began to board the ship and destroy all. It'd be our heroes fighting for their lives with all their strength, and with that, the time for battle was now. It'd be the likes of the Fire Genasi Wizard and Pyre to turn up the heat and sear his flows into oblivion. Meanwhile, making quick work of enemies, it'd be the Wild Magic Bijou Sorcerer and Thorn unleashing the chaos within. But that wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for Bjorn, the Iron Druid, slaying his foes left and right. Meanwhile, the Tiefling Bard would decapitate his foes, and that of Anthrax. Those who opposed him would immediately meet that of his blade, and tagging alongside him would be his lifelong companion, Enlika, the Ringtail Monk, channeling all the ki around them into a single fist. And lastly, ripping and tearing through all of our enemies with an unchallenged wrath would be the Bearkin Warrior in Grosraro. With that being said, with the battle closing, disaster would strike once more as the ship split into 2, and everyone was thrown off board before freezing over and hearing a strange feminine voice. Regardless, After what felt like an eternity, Thorin, you would awaken before glancing down upon a strange mark speaking to you. And with that, survivors, listen now. With you all frozen and awakening, what lies upon the palms of your hands? What do they mean? And more importantly, how long have you been frozen? Well, we'll have to find all of this out in session 2 of Rime of the Frostmaiden. And with that, adventurers, let us begin with today's session. Alrighty, and with that being said, let me change maps for you all. And also, that is your specific theme song for this campaign. Hope you like it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Every last one of our campaigns essentially have their own little intro theme. So, yeah, that one is yours. And it even changes every time you have a new season, like a freaking anime, because why not? Of course it does. Oh, man. All right, give me 2 seconds. Let me load over here. All right, so you guys should be loading in about 3 seconds. Boom and boom. All right, there you go. And everything should be good. Boop. Alrighty. That being said, okay, let me get you guys some ambience and let us begin. I believe it is this one. I believe, yeah, it's this one and this one. Yeah. So, with that being said, Thorin, as you awaken, you look out towards that of this sort of destroyed beach, a dismantled wasteland of ice and snow. You break out of your icy prison, still alive, gasping for that of air. And upon looking down upon or towards your hand, you look and see on one specific palm a marking. You glance towards it for a brief moment in time, and you hear several voices begin to enter into that of your mind, and you just hear over and over again, almost driving you insane for a brief moment. You just hear,
Vieve Valastal, Neil Ketsur.
Over and over and over again. You immediately drop down further and you feel broken for a brief moment in time. As you're trying to gasp for air, trying to sort of even like figure out where you are and what you're, or even gain that of your senses again. 2 souls awaken once more. Oh boy, let's see. 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. With a almost with a shattering sound of that of almost like glass and that of ice. Bjorn, Grosraror, you immediately drop down to that of the ground, almost gasping for that of air. And you look forth and you see around you the same sort of similar things of that of Thorin. However, you look towards that of your other companions, your other associates, friends, more associates for now. You see as they're frozen in this sort of strange, astral, sort of crystal ice, seeming to be that of colors of purples, blues, and greens, and more. And as you do, you look over towards Thorin as they're just sort of sitting there shaking onto the ground, on their knees, on all fours, just heaving. And with that, I ask you all, what do you say, and what do you do? The map is open.
Stare at the mark in confusion,
As you begin
not
to do
knowing
so.
what's going on.
As you begin to do so, you look towards that of the markings and such. One moment, please. And for you, what you end up saying is, you see as there seems to be on the palm of your hand this sort of almost, it doesn't even seem like to be like, not even really like a tattoo or anything like that, or just like paint. It seems almost like an engraving into that of your arm, or excuse me, that of the palm of your hand, and you see that of a purple square just directly like onto it, not moving. You even try to like sort of mess with it, doesn't seem to budge or move at all. Seems almost like branded into you. That being said, what do you all say or do?
I think we're all just kind of in shock.
As you all begin to look around, just sort of trying to contemplate what happened, what's going on, you look around and you do see, well, you kind of sort of sit there pondering, well, obviously, where are you? What happened? What did you see? Because in your sort of times and experience, you have never seen anything like what occurred before. Two titans, one massive in size coming from that of the sea itself, and another one kind of similar to that of a dragon, but almost coursing with that of an astral light of the corruption itself. You look around and you see, almost in a similar sort of color scheme, that of your companions and that of Lika, and even that of Pyre, all sort of encased in this same sort of astral prism or prison. They seem to be just sort of standing there, frozen, not able to move. You're not even sure if they're conscious, maybe even alive. And you see as that of the crystal shards down below, they have completely shattered and broken, but you also see as they're slowly sort of dissipating and turning into that of this sort of strange starlight. And as you do, you're just pondering, sitting there. You look over towards that of the beaches and you can see as there are there are dozens upon dozens of just sort of mangled bodies out there, corpses, dead individuals that seem to who knows how long they've been there. Some seem completely frozen, some seem to be completely torn about. Regardless, you all are alive. But why? But why? Why you 6? 3? Can't tell.
So, how tall is this nest?
How tall is this nest? Nest itself, it is gargantuan in size. Looking about, you're not entirely sure what constructed it, but definitely wasn't a normal bird. Definitely wasn't a normal bird. I'll say this, Roswell, you are, and actually you too, Bjorn. You have a little bit of sort of rough sort of nature and history and stuff like that. I'll tell you what, you two, if you want, you guys can make a nature check. That choice is yours. You don't have to.
Can you remind me how to do that?
I got you. Don't worry. It's been a couple weeks. I got you. Also, hold on one second. Thank you, Phoenix, for the raid. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am DMing at the moment, so I won't be able to talk to you guys too much, but thank you guys again. All right, so here's what you're going to do. So what you do is you simply double click on your token, and you'll see like your entire character sheet open up. If you look to the left, you'll see all your skills and abilities. Look for nature, and then just hit the text of nature, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. All right.
Well,
21 and a 4, huh? So Bjorn, you have definitely heard of, or like you've heard at least of creatures of very much gargantuan sizes from like, you know, your simple tales of like dragons and other things like that. But specifically that creatures that form nests like this, there's only one type of creature in particular, besides like a wyvern maybe, but from what I can tell, the only bird-like creature of this size is known as a roc, a ROC, a giant gargantuan bird in size that seems to have or that of beautiful colors in blues and reds and whatnot. But those individuals are extremely dangerous. And from what you can tell, you don't see any eggs of the sort, so you're definitely not impeding on any sort of territory that would probably lead to instant death because of it. But that information is known to you. Still don't have any idea why or what that would have to do with you being in this location, though.
This nest, I know this nest forming pattern. There's birds that live here. They're called rocks. Large, big, huge, very dangerous birds. But I'm still surprised we've all made it. And the markings, we seem to share them.
Well, you actually don't share the marking, or the exact one that Thorn has on his palm. You actually, instead, Bjorn, you specifically see that of a white sort of dot on the palm of your hand with a smaller dot inside. And I will show you exactly what resides on your hands. If you guys look in in-game content chat in just a moment, you will find what you see. That is what you see on the palm of your hand, Bjorn. And I'll show chat so they can see for 2 seconds. Boop. Simple as that. Very, very simplistic in design, but it seems to reside on that of your hand, and it seems to be glowing this sort of white light ever so. However, Groswarl, you look onto that of the palm of your hand, and you seem to have that of what looks to be kind of like a black star, and it doesn't seem to glow with that of light. It seems to glow, almost sort of be surrounded in kind of like shadows of some sorts. And you, my friend, see this. One moment, please. And boom. There you go.
Oh.
Alright. And for the rest of the chat. Bam. There you go. Alrighty. That being said, as you're examining, you're looking, is there anything else you are doing?
I'm looking at the thickness of those branches.
Thickness of the branches? From what you can tell, they are more than your size, almost 3 times over, from what you can tell. Seems like it was carefully constructed by that of multiple branches and trees itself rather than just general twigs. From what you can tell, looking about, you're not entirely sure how long this thing has been here, but it doesn't seem to be just freshly placed here, I'll tell you that much.
Does it seem fragile in any way?
Fragile? It's kind of hard to tell. It is brittle, based off, but you can probably figure that's from just the general snow and the coldness of the taiga, or in the just general Arctic right now. But I mean, it's about as brittle as any other sort of branch and stick of its size, you know. It takes a little bit of force and effort, but easy enough.
So what I will do, I'm gonna thunderclap.
Alright, you thunderclap as you begin to cast that of the cantrip, breaking it forth. You immediately unleash that of the arcane as you send it, or you send all of the bits of the wood sort of flying outwards and spilling onto that of the sort of icy floor down below. And as you do, as it echoes amongst the entire area, 2 more shadows awaken. And Vika, you immediately just hear that of a shattering before you. Your vision shatters and you drop down onto that of your knees, and you feel almost broken entirely. You look around and you find that of your companions or associates, and you look towards that of this almost desolate wasteland of mangled destruction and an everlasting frost. You see all your other companions seeming to be freed except for that of Pyre, who seems to be in this sort of a crystallized sort of or statue or form, not moving, not conscious, not sure. That being said, what do you two do?
Liko, go ahead.
Yeah, and would just move to Lake and do you have any idea what happened to us? I just remember the boats, but it's kinda, well, unclear from that point on.
I remember two big lizard things. One of them was really pretty with like all like sparks and dark stuff, and then that big sea creature that wrecked our boat. And then I remember we fought things, and I remember yeeting myself off the ship.
Yeah, I don't think too many people can forget those lizards.
No,
as you
no.
say they are.
They're big.
Did you happen to speak to any of these people when we were on the boat?
I liked her, and she looks towards the bearkin. I remember her. She saved me from the crazy dog that was like licking my face.
Okay, so I suppose we should place some trust on these people then. If they have helped you already.
And that tall, burly guy with the dog, of course. I mean, he was cool. His dog wasn't, but he was cool. And
yeah,
fire,
yeah.
and that fire guy, wasn't he the guy in the casino with us? He was drawing and sketching on things. And then she looks over to where, like, Thorn is standing. I remember Thorn.
Do you remember Thorn?
I kind of remember him.
Yeah, I think I have some kind of memory of these people. Let's
What's
Immediately.
that on your hand?
Immediately,
And
as you are conversing, just abruptly, without rhyme or reason from what you can tell, you all begin to just begin to see as the light around begins to sort of flicker for a moment. The light of the sky flickering itself. And you look and glance upwards towards that of the sky. And you see an extraordinary phenomenon. You look up towards the sky and you see as it's almost flickering, almost like that of a light, before immediately and abruptly turns from that of a blue sky of daylight immediately to that of a darkened sky of night. No sunset, no nothing, just one to the other in a brief flash. Oh boy. Now, let me change this. And you look around, and those of you with dark vision, it begins to kick in, and you see as all, or those without, you watch as almost or pretty much even go blind for a brief moment without that of a general light source, as you can barely see in front of you. And as you do, you look up, and you see that where the sun resided, there's no sun anymore. Instead, there is a shining moon down upon each and every one of your faces, and that of the entire taiga. That being said, you may continue. And continue doing what you're doing, or what you were talking about.
I suppose there is some kind of mark on Anthrax's hand too.
It is. You specifically see that of, one moment. You see on the palm of that of your hand, that of almost branded into it, that of this sort of red triangle that seems to be glowing with this red hue off to the side. It seems warm, but definitely not warm enough to keep you away from dealing with the heat. But you see this symbol onto the palm of your hand. If you look in in-game content chat. Lika, do you
Sorry,
look
Lika.
towards that of the palm of your hands? Alright, easy enough. You look down and you glance towards them, and looking at everybody else's, or at least Anth's, you see as they only have one mark. However, you look towards yours and you see one mark on this palm and another mark on this palm. Specifically just a simple dot, one seeming to give off this sort of golden light on the left, and the other one this sort of almost not giving off a light, but seeming to be that of a simple black dot that's sort of blending in with that of the shadows around and sort of lengthening them even further. One on each palm. Thank you for the raid, Jack. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you, buddy.
Sorry, is that for both Anthrax and for... Yeah, was
Only
that
for you.
Anthrax, or was that...
That is for you.
Yeah, for me it was the triangle.
I have dots.
Um,
Does that mean anything?
no, they, to me they are just dots. Well, not exactly just dots. They seem a little weird. I have this triangle. I don't know exactly what this means either. I suppose we could ask around if everyone else is and something similar happened to them.
Yeah. I'm gonna look over to where Thord is. Well, he seemed to have made a path down, but our friend, that person over here, and she's gonna go all the way over towards Pyre, he seemed kind of badly injured as well. In there.
Real quick. So, you guys all look
Or
around
not,
real quick.
I'm not sure.
You guys actually do see that, or Bjorn. They're trying to look around and about, but, they're having a little bit of trouble. As what I could probably assume right now, Jay, you probably can't see anything on the map, right? Yeah, that is because you do not have dark vision. So you do see Bjorn is like kind of stumbling, trying to like sort of place their hands on just general objects to sort of guide themselves, but you do notice at the least that they're struggling a little bit to see what's going on.
Yeah, I think Ant was probably too fixated on the marks on the hands and didn't even realize that the light changed all that much.
Lika is gonna go to where Thorin is, and Thorin will feel a brush of a red panda's tail along his leg, and he's going to kind of stumble forward a little bit if he's close by, and feel the top of the very furry head of a little red panda right there, kind of just like at elbow height or hand height, depending on how tall he is in comparison to Lika, because she's 3 feet tall.
Tower over or a decent bit. I mean, it depends on how tall Bjorn is, but yeah. That being said, is there anything else you guys are saying or doing at the moment?
Can we see Pyre's hands at the moment? Like check for another mark.
Well, at the moment you look at Pyre and he is still almost crystallized, and you cannot tell any mark on his hand at the moment.
Okay.
Auroraverse has been looking around for like, not necessarily like a big branch or anything, but anything that she can use to like try to poke at his like crystal thingy, because she doesn't want to touch it.
Yeah.
But she wants to like see if it's breakable or if there's a way to get him out.
Sure. You're easy enough. You're able to just sort of break a piece off and just sort of poke him with that of the beast or a bit of wood and such. Seems to be almost rock solid. That being said, the closer you do get to it, though, which mark do you have? Goswell, you begin to look over and you see as the palm of your hand begins to like almost writhe even more with that of the shadows. And you see as it begins to react closer, and the closer and closer to, the more you get to him.
That's weird.
It is.
Alfred will just get lost. I suppose you have a mark on your hand too. Bearkin.
Yes, and she just holds up her paw.
It was the black. Oh yeah, that's well, for sure. Yours is much cooler than mine, and just trying.
Sensei, does his glow as well? Like, does anybody else's glow more as they get closer to the crystal casing?
Let me look. From you guys, no.
Well, would we see Bjorn stumbling across, and I guess Thorn has gone this way, right?
Yeah. You'd see Bjorn start stumbling across. He's like right in front of you and stuff. He's trying to like trying his best to sort of make his way and get around. You did also see Thorn like from earlier march over to the side and cast Thunderclap. No, you felt that actually.
Seeing Bjorn kind of stumble across, I'll be like, you can just use me as a walking help if you need it. I don't know if I've got any torches still in my backpack. If you want to check, you can. Just be careful. There's like a sticky mug there from when I was eating ice cream.
All right. Okay. Well, I can't really. You're a little small. I think I can't quite find you. I can't see.
I'm right by your kneecap.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
There. Yeah. Hi.
I think I might take you up on one of those torches.
Okay. I don't know if I have any torches, but if you can see anything in there, I mean, it might be helpful.
Well, let's find out. Let's look into your inventory. You do have torches. You have 10. Would you like to light a torch and hand it to Bjorn?
Yes, I would.
Alrighty. Bjorn, I'm assuming that you take the torch, correct?
Yes.
Alrighty. So if that is the case, let me get you some vision for you, my man. Alright, 30, boom. Give me 2 seconds. Let me get the production value for you. Boom, boom, and boom. Alright, there.
That's much better. Oh, wow. Yes. Okay.
Oh man, there you go. And you should be good.
How do I edit my torches?
I got you. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
just close out.
Description. It's a whole process. It's not worth it. I got it. All right. That being said, Bjorn, as you are able to at least gain a little bit more of your vision and sight, you look around, you can actually see all of the individuals around you and what's going on. However, that being said, now you have sight. Is there anything you would like to do before I go on to the next thing?
I kind of look down at the marking on my hand, and I kind of touch it with my other finger, and I try to. It seems magical in a sense, so I feel like I try to attune to it and see if there's anything that happens.
All right, Bjorn, and this for that one. All right, Bjorn, here's what I need you to do. I need you, for this. What is your spellcasting modifier? +5. All right, I need you to make or roll a d20 +5 for me.
D20 +5.
To do the easy way to do, you can just go in the bottom right and you can just click buttons and all that stuff. The plus and minuses do the +5 for you. There you go. 8. Nah. So what you do get something out of an 8. That being said, what you end up feeling, whenever you're sort of touching that of the other mark, it does feel cold to the touch, like more so than anything around you. However, as you begin to try to focus and attune to it, you feel a sort of sense. A sense of almost just possibility that something more can be sort of learned from this. Something almost like a inert power waiting to be sort of activated, unlocked, something. You're not entirely sure, but that sort of general vibe. However, you have no idea how to do that or where to even begin. But it does feel at least somewhat magical to an extent. Roswell.
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
little one, it seems you have similar markings on each of your hands. I've only got one, but they're circular in fashion, sort of like mine, I wonder.
Yes. I don't know. What would happen if I clap my hands together?
Do you want to do it?
Should I try it?
Yeah, if you want.
No, not really, but I kind of. Okay. She would. She totally would.
All
So
right.
she's going to gently go like this in like a pose that she does when she does like some sort of meditation when she does meditate, which is very rarely. And she does tree pose. And what happens?
All right. You slap your hands together, and you die. No, I'm fucking with you. I'm kidding. I'm messing with you. No. No, what happens is you clap your hands together, but nothing actually does happen. Simple as that.
When she does that, she's going to look straight at Dorn, who's been asking her the question. And she goes on purpose. It's kind of like a payback for the dog.
Well,
And
actually,
she's gonna go.
real quick, I did actually think of something. Lika, make a quick insight check for me. Quick insight check. Interesting. So, you would have at least noticed one sort of similar thing, or one simple thing. So as you clasp that of your hands together, put them together, like clapping, you did feel something. It was kind of like, oh gosh, it's kind of like, the best way to put it is like a magnet, but it seems like two opposing forces trying to go against one another, kind of deal. Kind of strange, but that's what you get with a 21 on your insight check.
Did something similar happen during the thunderclap?
Nah. Thunderclap! Boom!
I want to see how far it is that to go down.
How far it is? It's a decent sort of descent. It's about 20 feet at the least downwards. So jumping off probably isn't the smartest thing to do, especially your capabilities at the moment. Probably gonna need to or figure out a way how to construct something to lead all the way down. But real quick, so I need to do this thing. Auroraverse. So, as you are looking and examining towards that pyre at the moment, oh boy, you hear something in the mind of your head. Only you. Oh boy. And you see as it's just, how do I explain it? You see as the shadows are writhing over and over again, and you just hear this. Oh boy. Where is it?
Join us.
And that is what you hear in your head.
Does that mean anything to me? Is that even a language that I understand?
Nope. No, it isn't. And it's terrifying.
Yeah, that's not great. I'm not a fan.
Nope. And as it happens, you begin to see as Pyre's crystal prison immediately just shatters. And as it does, you see as Pyre immediately drops down onto all fours, onto that of the ground, just sort of heaving and trying to sort of catch his breath, try to do anything that he possibly can, sort of right himself. And he's looking around, sort of haphazardly, just sort of almost like a wild animal for a brief moment in time, before slowly righting himself. And almost in a very, oh boy, you're about to see some weird stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You see, in an almost unnatural manner, you see as Pyre begins to sort of stand up, not blinking, not moving, and he just stands at the ready, just waiting.
Aurora is gonna put out her arm to Rika and push her back.
Rika will follow suit, but then Clemon will kind of lightly in bearkin way tap on the shoulder and see if she can go up on top of Rararal's shoulder, kind of to piggyback, just so she has higher vision.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So she's not really back, but she's still far away enough that she's there.
Yeah. That being said, what are you all doing? He is just at attention, just staring off, almost waiting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh boy. Oh, go ahead, Enth.
And would be with Thorian and Bjorn here. And does either one of you have rope by any chance? We could maybe climb out of here.
Yes, that's what I was planning on doing right now.
Yeah,
Right.
that seems like
This is
good
rope,
idea.
right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. How sturdy is it?
Granted, from what you'd have to drop down to do it, to go grab it, but yeah, you could easily go do so. How sturdy it is, it seems to be, from what you can tell, it seems to be keeping this sort of actual nest together, from what you can tell. Now, strange thing is, as Bjorn sort of mentioned out, only probably thing that can make this, or typically would have a nest this size, is like a wyvern, like a dragon or something, or that of a rock. Thing is, at the very least, they're not intelligent beasts to sort of construct anything with this, at least to this sort of degree in nature. But from what you can tell, it's sturdy enough to hold this thing together. So
I'm gonna tie my rope to it.
all right, easy enough. So you're tying your rope to where again?
To that rope.
Okay, rope to rope. Gotcha. Okay.
Rope to rope.
I'm gonna use Druidcraft to just slightly strengthen the wood around the rope.
All right.
Just a little bit.
Easy enough. As you're able to reinforce it to make sure that it is sturdy and was able to carry that of the weight of yourselves and your companions, you weave that of the wood between it. It seems to be in good shape.
Alright. Well, I'd say we go. That's a little creepy over there, Thorin. And what is your name, strange purple man?
My name is Anthrax. You can call me Ants, but this, as you called it, creepy over there. I'd say we should definitely try to take him with us if he regains consciousness. Could be a lot of help. He's quite well known to read a lot of books, so could be useful information for us on our travels here.
I guess you are correct. He did quite help us out back on the ship, but he
he definitely isn't at his best right now.
Hey everybody.
There with unpronounceable name can take him.
Hey everybody, real quick, make a perception check for me. 19, alright. 12, 7, 10, 16, alright. And, alright. Lika and Anth. You look over, glancing off to the side right here. When the hell did that door get here? You see a wooden door right here. Massive in size. Wasn't there before. It's there now.
Interesting.
In Grosrarol's ear in Bearkin language, or like dialect of Panda that has been kind of like squished. It kind of sounds like.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
But she's saying in that language, God, that's so creepy. Do you think if we poke him or tell him we're going this way, he'll follow us? While keeping an eye straight at Pyre, while seeing the door going and going. In the back of her mind, she's like, my boss got this.
Rosrara also talks back in Bearkin, except it's like regular big bear, so it's very deep and gravelly. She's like, I don't know what's happening, but I don't think we should go near him until something changes. He could attack us.
Oh boy. I hope you're ready for the most fucking bizarre shit that you guys will ever see. Or one of them. Alright. You hear this? Hopefully that came through. I don't know if it did on my mic.
Oh, I don't
No.
think that.
You hear knocking.
Seeing where Thorin is kind of like half out of the nest on this side, and as in like really dramatic stage whisper, "Hey boss, should we answer that door?" Or should we follow that guy?
And to be honest, I think things are so strange right now. We might as well answer the door. We survived this long.
I think Andrew would go closer to the door and can I do some kind of like see if it's. I mean, I suppose it must be magical of kinds of because it's appeared, but is there a way for me to understand a bit more about it with anything? Before we open it,
I would say the best thing to do would be an Arcana check. Best thing to do at Arcana.
okay. Well.
Oh no.
Well, shit, we
actually,
at least
wait,
somebody
actually,
constructed the door.
trust me on this one. You get advantage. Just trust me on this one.
Okay.
Natural 20. All right, here's why.
Nice.
So as you look at it, like you're sort of generally thinking like, why the hell is there a door here? And then you begin to just sort of examine it and sort of ponder towards it. This is not of general magical nature, like by, general, like sort of arcane theory or anything like that. This is of divine nature. However, it doesn't seem to be similar to that. Well, it does actually. It actually does seem to be extremely familiar to Phoenix.
Oh.
I
Okay.
would stumble forward and open the door.
Alright, you stumble forth and open the door. Bimroth knows. Oh man, alright. I shit you not, here's what you see. You look over, and and you open the door. Oh boy. You look over and you see a massive individual towering over in size, standing at least 8 feet tall, probably upwards to 12 feet tall. And you see as they are dressed in this long sort of black cloak with that of this strange sort of almost plague doctor's mask and this large sort of top hat with that every small little cane. And you all see this individual appear right here in front of, or exiting out of the door. It gets worse.
Hello?
You see as he looks at you, tips his hat, and you see as he begins to strut forward. Boop. Oh wait, hold on, I gotta move this over here. Boop. 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 What are you guys doing as you see he is just walking out of this door? You guys all see this if you're looking over in this direction. It's not hard to miss. You see as he's walking out of this door, moving forward.
I'm
Frost backs
fucked
up.
on the rope.
All right, hold on, one at a time. So you're going on the rope, and then what were you doing, Crosswall?
Just backs the fuck up.
All right, fair enough. That being said, what about you, Bjorn and Anth?
I suppose there's nothing that Anne would have seen before, and kind of freeze on the situation.
All right, what about you, Bjorn? As you just see him walk and you're strolling right on in. Not saying a word, just literally walking in like he owns the place. And he's heading towards Pyre.
Lika's gonna look to this and go, "Hello, sir. Are you helping our friend?"
See as he looks at you, waves, and then continues on going about his business. You will see as... Oh, go ahead, Anth.
Yeah, is the door open here? Like, just wide open?
Yes, it is wide open at the moment.
I suppose Anne would try to close the door and... Or... Is he able to?
Yeah, you're able to. You look inside of the door, like where it's leading. It leads to, from what you can tell, a tavern of the sorts. It seems to be actually, hold on. It seems to be fairly empty at the moment. There's a handful of individuals there, but I mean, for the most part, it seems empty. As you do hear a little bit of talking and sort of reveling down there. You close the door, and as this is all happening, you all see as he's gotten a little bit creative. You'll see as he takes that. Oh wait, actually, can he do that? Yeah, he can. He will take that of the top hat off, and you don't see any like hair falling down. It seems to be completely bald from what you can tell. You see as he takes the top hat, it begins to expand. And almost like Cat in the Hat, he places the top hat directly over Pyre. He lifts it up. Pyre's gone.
Bjorn is just kind of standing there in shock, and then he's like, hello, friend. What exactly did you just do there?
You'll see as he points to the door.
Okay, yes, but that's already weird enough. The markings on my hands are weird enough. We're in a giant nest. I don't know what's going on.
He will walk over, head pat you, and then keep on walking.
Anne would be standing in front of the door and just, where exactly are you taking our friend? This has already been a weird situation, and this did not explain anything.
He will point to the door. I'll point to the door again.
Wait, I didn't hear.
Oh, he's pointing to the door when you asked.
And would just shout to everyone, should we all go through the door?
He will shake his head no.
Is there any way you can communicate besides pointing and shaking your head?
He will nod.
Oh, clever.
Honestly, friends, this seems like our only way out of here, and I would not like to be stuck in a giant frozen nest on top of a mountain that we just suddenly appeared frozen inside of, so I say we follow him in no matter what he says.
He will look dead at you, Bjorn, and just stare. You can't see any facial like expression on him, so he's just staring at you, looking down.
Lika's gonna go off from Grezrar's back, and just lightly because the nest is about 10 feet tall, you said?
It is at least 20 feet tall, and that's like where Thorin all the way off to the side is hanging.
Is it like a wicker basket where there's like rivets in between the
Yeah,
sticks
yeah.
and things like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so Lika is going to quietly and stealthily make her way to the side where Thorin is, seeing the situation and seeing where her boss is, and it's like, my boss has got this handled completely, just like, my boss has this handled, it'll be fine. And then going to quickly, like, Spider-Man, crawl along the side a little bit on the sidewall of the nest to get to where he is. So she's just hopped off Grozrarl's back and just going.
Easy enough. Easy enough. That being said, is anybody else doing anything? You see as he is strolling on over to that of the door.
Yeah, I think Anne doesn't really trust that he's in the condition to challenge this person moving through the door.
That being said,
Thorin is starting to climb down.
alright, easy enough. You're climbing down. Make an athletics check for me. You have the rope. I would say you have advantage from the wood weaving and also the rope as well. Alright. You will watch as this individual will begin to sort of bend down and get ready, or head through the door. Bjorn, because you mentioned it, are you trying to walk forth and follow him in?
Can I try to maybe use something to block the door from closing?
Well, it depends on what you're trying to use.
Anything from the nest, like any branch or something that I could stick in front of it so it couldn't close.
Oh, yeah, if you want to. Yeah, you can do that.
Right? It
Alright.
doesn't take any checks, or?
Nah, I mean, you do so. However, as you begin to try to place that to the branch, you see as he's getting ready to close the door, is anybody trying to do anything?
Yeah, I saw there was like a tavern inside. And
Yes.
like, all I can think about is ale and mead, so I'm like, I need a drink, and I'm trying to go in.
Alright, you will see as he will just sort of stiff arm you for a brief moment, and he will look directly at you, and he will just say, oh boy. You will actually see as he speaks, and he says this.
Not yet.
And he will walk on in.
Grozrarl. Sorry, go ahead. Grozrarl yells out, "Where did you send him?"
God damn it, another question. No, please, no, not again.
Sorry.
No. I was thinking about something else. Oh boy. you'll see as he just says, he sort of sighs for a brief moment, and you see as he just says to you, Groswarl, and says,
Happy dreams.
He says, happy dreams.
Oh, okay. She just stands. She doesn't know what to do with that.
No, he does not give a lot of stuff off, I will be honest with you. That being said, you see as he walks on in, and as the door shuts, that of the wood will snap.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. And you will see as you sort of turn away looking at one another, you turn back around, the door's gone. Alright, let me explain to you what the fuck just happened right now. Let me take it out of game. Okay. Alright, Bimroth. Actually, you know what, Bimroth, do you want to explain?
I think you will do a better job.
Alright. This individual right here, everybody, is known as the Keeper. This is out of game. So essentially the Keeper is a favorite NPC of the sheer ridiculousness of him. And essentially what he is out of game, he is my way of basically taking players and other NPCs and characters and also standby players out of the session without having to come up with some convoluted reason on why they're not here. So instead, I decided to make it an in-lore reason of this guy doing it. And the Keeper is essentially a deity who actually was an actual player of Project Aurora a long time ago. And essentially what he does is he takes players who aren't active and he puts them in the plane of dreams and all that other stuff until they actually come back. And all that other stuff. So that way it's like, oh, let's say, oh, Jim can't freaking make the session for a month. They go into the plane of dreams and they get brought back when they actually get to come back and all that other stuff. And yeah, that's essentially the Keeper. But that being said, despite it being that of a meta mechanic and stuff like that, there's actual genuine lore like in game and a whole bunch of other craziness and shenanigans about him that you guys can eventually discover and figure out and explore throughout the entire campaign and just in general. We've had a lot of people get into some shenanigans with that of the Keeper. I mean a lot. Looking at Serpent's Call, aka the group that Bimroth was a part of, where they fed him alcohol to see what would happen. It didn't end well. it didn't end well. But yeah. So that is
like the whiskey though.
He did like the whiskey.
Your way of doing this.
But that is just to explain what the hell you guys just witnessed and whatnot, because I got to do that. Sands of Sin met them. I know Sean's in the chat somewhere. Sands of Sin met them, and their experience went a little bit more or less the same, or worse. Oh god. So that was about as tame as I thought it would be. Oh goodness, or chaotic as I thought it would be. That being said, there you guys go. The individual has completely vanished. He has hijacked your friend. Yeah, they tried to wrestle him. I'm not even joking. They challenged him to a wrestling match. Don't question it.
If I wasn't injured.
But so this individual essentially, he just hijacked your friend, took him to a tavern, and left. So that is a thing that happened and that you all witnessed. That being said, meanwhile, Thorin, well, this is all sort of traversing. You eventually drop down to that of the ground, climbing from that of the rope, and you land onto that of this sort of, or onto that of the ice. You do see as it cracks a little bit beneath you for a brief moment. You sort of stop yourself. You sort of brace.
From the
Breathe
top
for a
of
second.
where his rope is, like is gonna go. How far down is it?
20 feet. If you're on the little small platform right here, it is 20 feet.
Okay. How if she could probably see where Thorin is. Is it a hard climb? Oh,
You see as Thorn is just sort of staring off into oblivion, just staring at the ice, waiting, not answering.
I climbed it down. Should be fine. And carefully with that, we'll go forward.
All right. You carefully move one step at a time, taking it slow. Seems to be all right for now. You do see a couple more dead bodies sort of mangled and tossed about. That being said, what are the rest of you doing?
I would have probably seen him being very ginger once he got down to the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Just like pedaling along. So, she's gonna look over to the remainder. If we go down, I'm pretty sure it's okay, but gentle. I don't have that problem. And she's gonna scamper down, following the rope.
Easy enough.
And she's gonna leave her 50 foot of rope that she has on her backpack on the ground, just in case.
All right, you may move your character. Make that of a athletics check for me with advantage. One more time, though. 13, easy enough. You're able to climb down, and you will reside onto that of the, or onto that of the ice. It cracks for a brief moment in time, but seem to be fine for now. The rest of you, are you all continuing forth, falling or like dropping down, or are you doing something else beforehand?
Yeah, I walk over and I take the rope that I had like secured into the wood with Druidcraft, and I like tug on it to make sure it's all good, and then I hop down.
Easy enough. Athletic check with advantage. All right. And then Anth and Grosrarl, what are you two doing? One more time.
I think Anth will just... Or maybe. And would go after Björn if nothing happens.
Well, what happens is, oh boy, oh man, these rolls, man. I don't know what's going on. Foundry just does not like this fucking game. It really doesn't. So here's what happens. Oh gosh. All right. Oh, that's a fucking 4. All right. I'm just gonna roll this. Oh, thank. Okay. All right. Here's what happens. So Bjorn, as you're sort of climbing down, your foot somehow gets sort of caught up off of one of that, or excuse me, not your foot, but that of your tools and supplies get caught on that of the rope for a brief moment in time. And as you're trying to sort of free them in this quick moment, you end up almost sort of tumbling about, and as you do, you crash onto that of the ice below. Each and every single one of you down below, you watch as the ice begins to crack for a brief moment before Bjorn, you watch as he begins to immediately plummet into that of the water. That being said, what do you guys do in a brief moment as you all see as he just crashes down? What are you doing?
As a reaction, I will lunge forward a little bit with my little weak body and try to grab onto him as quickly as I possibly can. Just tugging on him however I can, while trying also to not fall into the ice beneath him either.
Sleight of hand check from Lika. Anybody else doing anything?
Watching in horror as this happens.
Yeah, I don't have anything I can do from the top.
16. All right, Bjorn, as you sort of splash and it cracks forward, you're not like submerged completely into it. You're just in the process of falling, and quickly you do see a hand reach out directly towards you and try to pull you. However, because you're not the strongest, however, through the both of you, you're not like, I don't think you're abysmally, yeah, you have 10 strength. It's not bad. Through the both of you, you're able to at least pull upon one another, and Bjorn, you're able to reside back onto that of the ice around. That being said, where the rope is sort of lying, there seems to be it seems to be leading into that of straight water and ice, and you watch as it's almost in real time slowly freezing over by inches, not in every couple of seconds. It's not like a rapid freeze, but it is freezing over.
we can see there's rocks here and here-ish, right?
Yes.
We have light. And his torch is probably out now.
Oh yeah, that is true. Oh man.
I will look over at Bjorn and I'll be like, maybe, and I'll wet and spluttering try to find a much more secure location from here. And then I'll shout out, be careful with the ice, in like really small, squeaky, like cuts off a little bit before she dashes towards this rock over here that she sees.
Yeah.
Could I use Mage Hand to move the end of the rope? Maybe try to
From, like,
move it to
Somewhere else below, like besides, like, you know, the water pool. Yeah, you can easily try to do that.
Try to hand it to Leica and say, can you tie it somewhere on the rock down below? To redirect the landing spot, kind of thing.
You see the other rope that I left behind?
Do I?
Yeah, you do. It's not too. You have dark vision. It's not too hard to see.
Yeah, so I can find just another rope that we can tie somewhere else, right?
Yeah, you left it on. Did you leave it on the ground, like on the ice, or did you leave it back on the nest, Lika?
I would leave it somewhere where he can actually see it, or where everyone can kind of see it. It's a little bit haphazardly dumped, but it's somewhere present where it's close by.
Is it on the ice though, or is it like up in the nest still?
It's in the nest where Anth and Ezra were.
Every time. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can see it. You can use it, Anth, if you want to.
Yeah, okay, so I suppose we would see it and use it here to try and get to close to the rock. I suppose this is much lower than the nest.
Yes.
Or is, yeah, so I believe we would be tying the rope down and try to land on the small rock.
One thing that I should note. Wait, unless I'm crazy. Did you? I think, yeah, some of your HPs are messed up. Unless I'm crazy, because I don't think you guys rolled hit dice or anything or took a short rest. Yeah, Graz, you should be at like 1 HP right now.
Correct.
If I'm not mistaken. It says you are uninjured. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right.
Yeah, I came in and I was like, oh, well, I guess we must have been here for a while and we just all hung out.
No, that's not how that works. I don't remember exactly
Wishful thinking.
everybody's sort of health. Oh, one is kind of wonky and weird.
I was undamaged.
Undamaged, yeah, that sounds right. Pyre, he took damage. I don't remember for Bjorn or Lika though, if they took damage or not. I don't remember. 2 weeks ago. I'll tell you what, 1 HP, like as in, or excuse me, like you took 1 damage, that's it. Boom. Whatever, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Alright.
Yeah. I suppose I would have noticed that Crossborough isn't in the best shape, and I would use Cure Wounds to help with that situation. Now that I know it's not full health, and you must. Oh yeah, never mind. Right.
Alright, there we go. So, as you begin to use that of Cure Wounds towards them, you watch the spell washes over, and as you do, Groswell, you watch as your wounds close, and you feel a little rejuvenated.
Shouldn't be as scary to go down with little life inside. Yeah, they would just now be taking the rope down. I suppose it doesn't take much to set up a new rope.
Easy enough. Yeah, you can do so. You fashion it together, and that being said, do you both climb down?
Yeah.
Alright, both athletic check with advantage if you're using the same rope that Bjorn or made. 17, easy enough. You're able to slide and climb that of down, back with that of your allies. Oh no.
Are you
Oh
serious?
no! The 1 in 400 chance. This game does not like you guys. What the? Huh.
And it's a bearkin, so the.
Oh no,
ice is
it is a bearkin.
Not much of a barrier.
That is, huh. Alright, well, I'll tell you what. Sammy, do you want to describe what happens, or do you want me to take the reins? What do you imagine happens here?
No, I think that you would paint a much better picture than
Okay.
I would. So please tell me how terrible this is.
Uh-huh. Alright. Oh, God. Oh, man, that is 2 natural ones. It's not even just like oh, I rolled a natural 1, but I rolled a 2 afterwards. No, it's just like, damn,
I thought I
alright.
was like, oh, 1 nat 1. Good thing I have advantage. What's the statistical likelihood that I'm going to get 2 nat 1s in a row? Not very big.
Oh,
We don't
man.
need
we
go
go.
to die. We don't.
Alright, so, God, I don't like dude. Okay, here's what happens.
I'm sorry.
I got an idea. Alright, okay, I got an idea. Here's what happens, Groswarrel. Oh boy. Oh wait, can I? Yeah, I think I can do this. As you're getting ready to climb forth and get ready to descend, you look out towards that of the sort of snowy wasteland, and you begin to start climbing down the rope. And as you do, you see a figure. You see her. Slowly but surely reaching out towards you. And as it happens, the rope snaps. And you all watch as Groswarrel immediately, for no rhyme or reason, just plummets. To all of you, the rope seems to be in complete fair condition. For Groswarrel, the rope snaps before you, and you watch as you plummet and drop down directly smack dab into that of the ice. And as that happens, oh boy, good thing I had oh no. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. One moment. Where are my notes? I made sure to prepare just in case for this. Okay, okay. And what about that thing? Please don't be as bad. Alrighty, 1 second. Sorry about this. Yeah. Oh god, okay, alright, yep, it's as bad as I thought it would be. Okay, so you guys all watch as he plummets directly into that of the ice, and you see as water begins to spill out in multiple directions as you just immediately plummet further and further into that of the water. As it does, you watch as the ice begins to slowly freeze over and almost begin to freeze every single portion of your body. Groswarrel, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, and while that is happening, what are the rest of you guys all doing as you hear and you feel the impact of the ice?
Is there any
Lika.
visible rope on the ice?
On the ice, no, it seems to be like right above it at the moment. Well, it's a little bit of slack. I guess realistically it probably would go into that of the water slightly. It's kind of hanging off the side as like haphazardly, and so you got to kick the rope in if you want to do that, but that choice is yours for that. What are you doing, man? She is at the moment, she is plummeting down.
Lika is going to do what Lika will do best when she sees someone who she kind of likes getting injured. She's going to allow somehow and try to figure out a way to help. How far deep is she going? Like, I can't see.
Ooh, you wouldn't be able to see from here, but she is about 10 feet submerged at the moment. and she is slowly descending forward. I assume that you'd probably be flailing about trying to get back up to the surface. However, you're trying with all your might with the 6 on your Constitution saving throw. You're trying and struggling as much as you possibly can. However, this sort of ice is taking over your entire form, freezing you, almost preventing that of your movement. That being said, also, fun fact, Groswell, you do receive an inspiration point from chat. Go ahead, end. What were you trying to say?
I'm gonna look around, see very, very frantically, because this is my bearkin folk, and be like, okay, dump my backpack, kind of right here, just within reach of Anth, and then she's gonna prepare to yeet herself into the water to help her friend up, because she figures, oh,
Everything good? Oh, hold up.
Okay, on the side.
Go ahead.
Would there be enough like rope around to reach her still in the water?
Yeah, from what you can probably tell, I mean, she isn't too far. She's 10 feet down. You got a little bit left. It's going to take a little bit to descend, obviously. So you're not sure if she'll be able to get it in time. But yes, you can kick it down to sort of help out with that.
Okay, well, I wouldn't probably try and do that and just shout to Bjorn and Torrent like, we need help here. Come, we need, our friend is drowning here.
I mean, I'm gonna.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna like run around the giant, like, crack in the ice that I made when I fell through, and then I'm going to take some rope, like druid craft it, stick it together, make a lasso, and try and lasso.
Okay, all
Try
right.
and lasso Groz.
Oh man, all right. So you're trying to lasso, or you're trying to throw it under the water and the ice. Okay. Whew. Oh boy, what kind of check would this be? Honestly,
Can I give him advantage because I'm going to see a lasso coming whizzing past my field of vision, perhaps, and try to I'll be like, oh, rope, grab onto it and then swim down to where she's at.
swim down where she's at. All right, I'll tell you what. All right, Bjorn. Here's what you can do. So you can either make like a wisdom check for me, or you can make that of a sleight of hand check as you're trying to lasso this thing. The reason why it could be wisdom is because you're using and weaving that of the druidcraft magic into it, or you're basically looking for that of the quality for it to basically make it pretty much a how do you call it, strong enough lasso to pull for that of a bearkin in this moment in time. So your choice, sleight of hand or wisdom.
I will absolutely take wisdom.
You got it. All right, so wisdom check, and then all right, so Lika, you are 100% jump. Oh man, you're 100% jumping down into that of this water, correct? All right. Well, first off, before you can give advantage, well, you're grabbing. Are you grabbing the lasso before or after you jump in?
As soon as it's inside of my vision, I'm grabbing it and bringing it down with me.
Yeah, fine. I'll say this. Okay, so you'll see as Bjorn is sort of throwing that of the lasso towards you, you see it and catch it in, or get ready to catch it in that of the corner of your eye. As you jump down, Bjorn, make another wisdom ability check, and also Lika, make a Constitution saving throw. Better. 1 second. Not bad. Not bad, not bad at all. With 2 12s, you immediately jump and grab that of the lasso, and you begin to swim and plunge yourself down, descending further towards that of Groswall. You do feel the ice immediately freezing your entire form right before you, and as you do, you push through and keep swimming forward. As you do, you see as Groswall is sort of trying to flail out. What are you doing at this moment in time, Gros?
Just trying to like get back up. That's it. She's like trying to just focus on where the bubbles coming out of her mouth are going and trying to get towards the surface.
All right, make an athletics check for me.
Please be kind, dice. Please.
Please be
don't hurt
kind.
me
Please
again.
be kind. Ugh. Oh my gosh.
Guys, you show weakness.
Oh man, you have inspiration points. If you want to add it, but I don't know. That being said, is that the final roll?
I don't. This is my least favorite thing about inspiration is that I'm like, I could totally use it now, but if I don't, then the next time that I get something, I'm not going to be able to use it.
So then you stockpile and hoard it all together.
Yeah, I don't think I can use bardic inspiration to someone underwater.
Yeah.
They just gotta hear you. So if they can hear you, then.
Yeah, kind of worried that something else can hear us too if I use my horn. If I use
Yeah. That being said, is it 8 where it lies?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, that's it. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. You're flailing about and you're trying to get as close as you or possibly can to Lika. However, you're trying with all of your might. However, each and every bit of fiber of your being is freezing over, and you just feel cold and cold and cold, and you just hear in that of your head just this voice: "Freeze, my child." At this moment in time, you see as Groswell begins to descend further. That being said, Lika, if you want to save or try to go further down to after, you're gonna have to try to swim even further. Do you do so?
Oh yeah, I totally do.
All right.
I don't know how far the rope is trailing behind me, but I am gonna fish my fair folk friend out of there.
All right. That being said, you guys all watch as it's taking them a lot longer than than you think or you thought it should have been to grasp or to basically come back to that of the surface. Lika, as you plunge yourself further, make a Constitution saving throw. Is anybody else doing anything at this moment?
It's trying to hold on to the rope.
Easy enough.
Yeah, just preparing to pull up.
All right. That being said, as you are bracing yourselves, holding the rope, waiting for that of a tug, you immediately, Lika, you push through as more and more of the ice is sort of forming amongst yourself. However, oh boy. Wow, I didn't think this would happen yet. One moment, please.
Sounds good.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. As you begin to dash forward with that of a 20 on your Constitution saving throw, pushing forward, you immediately begin to see as Groswell is rapidly descending as more and more of this ice is forming around her, and almost in just a brief sort of flash, Graz, you see as Lika's eyes begin to glow this sort of strange blue ever so slightly, and as it happens, you see as she just begins to plunge forth further into that of the water with an unnatural speed to her. As she begins to do so, I need you to either or one or the other, you guys can make an athletics check to try to pull or wrap around the lasso amongst one another and pull yourselves to safety. What are you both doing? Your choice.
I'd like to give Björn the bardic inspiration right now.
All right. How are you inspiring him, Mr. Bard?
I'd be just it's up to us. We need to save them. They will be drowning soon. It's extremely cold. We have to hurry, and that's
Fucking Danish, what the heck?
saying.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, right. That same. Oh yeah.
For some reason, your bardic inspiration killed him.
Sorry.
No, I thought I fixed that. My bad. But that being said, you're good.
Get that aggressive.
That being said, as this happens, or that of Bjorn, you feel a little bit more bardically inspired and ready to go, readying yourself for what's to come. Also, that being said, Alika, you receive an inspiration point from chat as you swim forth. Who is making the athletics check? One or the other. Or if you want, you guys can make a group check, and we'll take the average. Your choice.
Yeah, I
Say the group check.
So the group check will be between the both of you, and then afterwards we gotta worry about pulling you guys out of here.
Yeah, I mean,
But for the first one, which one do you guys want?
Wait, so it's athletic checks that we need to do at
So this is between Groswarl and also Lika, as this is to see if they're able to like grapple essentially one another.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so we should make the athletics first, and then take the average. Okay. let's do this thing.
All right, let's see what you guys got. Both of you make athletics checks. Come on, come on. 20, 11, that's not... That's pretty good. That's a pretty good. 20 and 11 averages out. That'll do it. That'll be enough. Immediately, you grasp each other's hands and begin to immediately wrap forth, wrapping that of the lasso amongst one another. I assume, Lika, you immediately pull on that of the lasso to alert that of your comrades that, hey, pull us back up, I'm assuming. All right. That being said, Anthrax and also that of Thorin, you immediately feel that of a tug onto that of the rope. What are you all doing?
I suppose we just start pulling.
All right, easy enough. As you begin to do so, you pull with all of your strength and might. All right, that being said, oh boy, I need a group athletics check from the 4 of you all. We'll take the average of all of this. Let's see what you guys got. Come on, everybody. 4, 18 from a natural 20. Not bad, not bad. 11, fair. It's gonna come down to this. All right, come on. Last one, last one. Groswaro. Oh, natural 1! No! Oh, God! Oh, man.
And a nat 20.
This is some stuff right here.
Isn't really doing anything.
Alright, give me one moment. I need to bring out ye old calculator for a minute. 8 plus 4 plus 11 divided by 4. Oh, wait, hold on. Make sure I did my math right. Because though I'm an engineer, I'm terrible at math. Okay, it's a little bit better. But oh, that's not gonna cut it. All right, here's what happens. So as you're pulling for all your strain, that of Anth and that of Bjorn, you're pulling with all your might, but you two are not necessarily the strongest of individuals. You're trying with all of your strength and might, and you almost get pulled in or into that of the water itself, and you almost stumble for a little bit. DC is extremely low, but make a dexterity saving throw for me, big guy. Oh boy. Only reason it's a chance is because you guys were able to fail the check. Come on, buddy.
Wait, so who does me?
Yes.
1.
8. Anything else? Oh wait, not Bjorn. There we go.
That's not me. Yeah.
14. All right, there we go. 14. You're good enough. Easy enough. You're able to sort of stop yourself and sort of plant yourself at least anywhere you possibly can, prevent yourself from flying into that of the water itself. That being said, as you're doing so, DC's gonna be a little bit higher this time. Is anybody else aid, or is anybody doing something specific or special to aid in this manner? If not, then we're gonna go back to athletics checks. Anybody doing anything before we continue?
I am swimming as far as I can now that I know that she's got the lasso, and I'm trying to like swim upwards while also dragging, like using the rope as like a little guide tether and making sure that my tail is in her face so she can see the bubbles.
All right. That being said,
I don't know if that helps. Oh no.
Anything helps at this point.
Anything really
honestly.
does help at this point, yeah. That being said,
And Anthrax will just plant his feet the best he can against the rocks and just yell out, "Pull!"
all right. That being said, Lika, you also receive another inspiration point, and as you're yelling out to pull once more. All right. That being said, is that a bardic inspiration? I'm just making sure.
I think Bjorn still got inspiration.
You can give bardic inspiration out to multiple people.
Oh yeah, I no, but I can't use it on myself. Or I suppose I could try and use it on Leka and but I suppose just the words probably don't reach her under the water. So it needs to be the horn in this case.
Yeah. Your bards they're not like specific where you have to do it your specific way. As long as you can flavor however you want to inspire somebody, my friend.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I suppose. I don't know. I suppose it just has to be the horn anyway in this case to reach with volume to inspire someone.
Alrighty, and who are you inspiring out of your companions?
I will be inspiring Laika.
All right, easy enough. That being said, while that is happening, Bjorn, you're pulling unless you're doing anything else, correct? Just pulling?
I'm just pulling.
Just
Yep.
pulling. All right, that being said, Thorn, you see as all this is sort of occurring at the moment, are you doing anything in this moment in time? Granted, it has happened.
I'm gonna go to the rope and help them pull, I guess.
All right, easy enough. That being said, you try to grasp that of the rope behind that of Bjorn and pull with all of your strength and all of your might. As you begin to do so, I need every last one of you to make another group athletics check. Let's see what you guys got. Come on, come on. 10, 11, 15, 17. Not bad, not bad. Remember, the DC is higher from last time. 13. All right, that being said, is anybody else adding anything, like any bardic inspirations, anything at all? Now's the time.
Hey, I'm adding my bardic inspiration.
All right, add a
I still have my
D6.
bardic inspiration.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
I'll
do.
add that too.
All right, add a D6. Let's see, let's see. All right, 2 and 1 more. All right, so that is a 16, 17, 13. Oh, so that is an 18. Not bad, not bad. 13. Is anybody else adding anything at all to their rolls? Final chance. All right. That being said, let us hope that the dice are in your favor. And the DC is low. Alrighty, let me get out the calculator for this one because I can't do averages in my head. All right. That being said, you guys all watch as you're pulling with all of your strength and all of your might. And as you do, you all can see as you are standing here in that of the freezing cold. However, your blood is boiling from trying to use every sort of muscle in that of your arms to pull forth, swimming forth from that. Or Lika, you see yourself freezing in that of this sort of rigid cold. Roswell, your vision sort of immediately going hazy. However, your bearkin might and strength begins to course amongst you, and you immediately begin to break that of this ice and begin to swim forth to aid that of your companions. However, as it happens, and Bjorn, Thorn, you begin to stumble for a brief moment in time, almost getting tossed into that of the water. However, you strengthen your resolve, push or almost bracing yourself amongst that of the rocks around. And as you do, with a one final heave, you see as Lika and that of Groswarl eventually land onto that of the ice, safe and sound. Oh man. And with that, you all just drop down, I assume, sort of exhausted for a brief moment in time. Your allies, safe and sound. For now. Oh boy. That being said, what are you all saying and what are you all doing?
Let's get our asses to the beach. Now.
Yeah. And we'll just go. If anyone has any torches, for example, that we still can use, I think these two could use some heat.
So one thing, oh boy, it only gets weirder in Voden, it really does. So one thing, Roswarl and Lika, you are freezing to death at the moment. Not only haven't been able to cover it yet, but Thorin, Anth, and Bjorn, you all are freezing as well, just from the general cold. But especially for now that of Lika and Groswarl, who have been in that of the icy colds at the moment. You guys are looking at Constitution saving throws or suffering exhaustion at the moment if you guys do not find a place of warmth of significance in a very, very short amount of time. That being said, at this moment, you are grabbing that of torches, correct, and you are lighting them. All right. That being said, Bjorn, here I got you, buddy. Oh, you already have the light. All right, awesome, awesome. Who is wielding torches so I can adjust their tokens?
Not me.
The bag is kind of. Oh, sorry.
Is it just Bjorn?
I think it might be then. Okay, that's fine. Easy enough. So, as the torch is lit up once more, you see two things. One strange and one of significance at the very least. You look, those around that of Lika, you look towards her and you see her eyes are were briefly sort of glowing this sort of strange blue light, and they're slowly fading back to normalness. But you also do see as there was just sort of a little bit of water sort of swirling around her for a brief moment in time before it begins to immediately sort of seep into that of the puddle down below. Seems to be or no longer happening at the moment, but you did see that at the very least if you were right beside her. That being said, that is the first thing that you see. The second thing that you see is also off to the side an individual who seems to be frozen, a corpse, if you will. But Roswarl, you immediately recognize this individual as this individual, though it's been 2 weeks, I'll remind you. This is the same individual who had hired you onto that of the expedition.
Oh.
And you see as he is completely frozen over. But also another thing, well, you'd have to get probably a little closer for that. Yeah, you'd probably have to get closer. But you do see him. You see at least like notes and stuff scattered about, but that being said,
That's very sad.
are you guys saying or doing anything?
We need fire. We need warmth.
We need to get out of the house.
Our flaming friend got taken into a hat and into a magical door, so he would be helpful now.
We need to get off this ice.
Yeah, ice is only going to make us colder from the bottom. I'd say we get to some land and maybe build a fire or something.
Alright. Easy enough. So, that being said, my friends, the map is open. You may traverse and continue wherever you wish, and I will obviously tell you if you guys see anything or do anything. Right now, looking about just from sheer, just sort of like general surroundings, you look and see that there is bits of this entire ship completely destroyed and mangled about. You do see like there is, from what you can tell, like the mast that seems to be destroyed. But you also see farther around the hull of the ship just sort of completely separated into two pieces on opposing sides. You also look forth and you see that of a couple of bridges onto the or connecting that to the higher platforms as well. Lastly, you do see, as there is the body of the individual, Leopold, as he explained, and he is just frozen, laying there with that of his notes, obviously dead. That being said, out of all those things, which one would you like to explore to or do first?
How far away is the hull from us?
The hull, it is... the front portion seems to be a pretty walk far from you. Probably about 100 and... whoops, ignore that. Probably about 126 feet out. The back portion seems to be about... Well, actually, no, same kind of distance. It's really just up to you.
Okay. And then you said the bridges that we see on top of those rocks, that those are part of the deck?
They are, so you have to get a little bit closer to see it, like to get an actual visual on the map and screen. But you can see as there are essentially rocky sort of structures that have bridges leading between them to prevent people from walking on the ice, from what you can tell.
They're from when I can't remember who it was, but pushed out the side of the nest or whatever. Are there branches and logs and stuff around us that we could make a fire with?
There's a couple of things that just drop down about. You can probably scavenge and scrounge around for a couple to make a decent fire. It'll take you a little bit, but I mean, you can do it.
We're all gonna do that while everybody else is doing their thing.
You got it.
I think the nodes were around here.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. So and would just hastily pick up whatever that's inside and just not really pay attention to it, just in case pick up the notes that he can see and
Well, real quick,
move back.
as you get a little bit closer, you do see a couple of interesting things of notice.
Right.
It seems to be the body of Leopold, the humanoid man with the, again, eye patch over his eye and all that. But his body seems to be completely eviscerated from the ship's explosion. However, while you're grabbing that in the notes and just sort of happening to look around and about, make a medicine check or an investigation check. Just a general one. Real quick. 10. That's DC. You see as, well, not only do you find 10 gold on him if you want to take it or not, it's up to you. You do find his notes and plenty of his notes. Alright, I got you. I'll add the 10 gold for you. Just pocket that real quick. I got you.
Nobody needs to know that. Nobody.
25. Boop. Alright, there you go. But you also, you do find his notes, and I can get into that in a minute. But on his body, it seems to be slash marks. Slash marks that have ice frozen over and lodged into the wound.
So I would just like at that moment I would just remember that I did blow the horn for the bardic inspiration, and probably it seems like something here is a predator kind of animal around. So
to explain once more, 'cause I think I didn't explain that a little bit good enough. So like there are slash marks on like his chest and arms and whatever, but where the wounds are, it's frozen over with like that of this strange sort of ice. Kinda in a similar way to like not the same color, but kinda in the similar way to the crystals when you guys were in the crystal prisons and stuff like that. Not the same color, but that general idea and look and texture.
okay.
That being said,
So,
that is yours. For the notes, are you looking at the notes right now, or are you looking at them later?
I've just pocket the notes and just get back to it. We should definitely start looking for a way to find shelter for at least a while. And as one of the not so good navigators in the group, I will just wait for somebody to take the lead here.
All right. I keep
Bear.
Bear is gone.
Oh,
Bear's back.
Bear's
Sorry.
back.
Bear. You know these lands, right?
I have never been here, but I can, if I'm trying to think about how a smart person would do this, because I personally am not good at this kind of explanation, but Auroraverse would be. Okay.
What are you
So she'll
trying to
say.
explain? I got you.
Just that she's never been to like this specific place in the land, but like she does have, like she has gone over a lot of land. She would know how to like navigate and kind of like look for like landscape features and stuff to be like, oh, I recognize this mountain range, or like follow the sun to whatever other direction.
Yeah, so familiar with the general terrain of the land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy enough. So that information is known to all of you. As Groswell explains all of that. That being said, where are you guys going? Who's leading? What are you doing? The map is open, so you guys can literally just start moving your tokens and walking, and I'll tell you if you see stuff.
I'm gonna turn over towards Thorin, towards Thorin, and be like, "What did you see over on this side? What did you see? Do you see any caves or ledges we could probably climb up?" She's like very cold and shaking, putting back on her backpack that's lost like 5 torches, and she's got 1 torch like a little bit too close to her face, just lit up, so her hands are like all over it.
Nothing really. We should find land out of this ice
Hmm.
first.
How tall is this rock in front of me right now? Like this one right
It's about
one that
like
has the bridge.
it's about like 5-7 feet, at the most 7.
Oh, 5 feet. So I could just like hop on top of it and be like right here, kind of.
Oh, you meant that one? I thought you meant this one right here. Okay. So
No, no,
this
no.
one is like 5 feet. If you want to just like do some dope monk stuff and just like parkour off of the rock and then jump over here, you can do that.
I will parkour over onto this side and look straight up. How tall is that?
How tall is it? You're getting closer. You're not as tall as like that of the nest, but you're getting closer towards like 12 to 15 feet up.
We'll huddle on this ledge and I'll wait with my little torch in between my legs and going, okay.
If it's still moonlight outside, are we able to see which direction the beach is in?
The beach, so from what you can tell, it's kind of hard to see with that of the sort of general snow and like the fog around, but you know that you see a little bit of land, like I guess south of the map, but also kind of west, more so leaning. But so what exactly? So you're looking for a beach, like you're looking for just general land, or like
Which way is the land and which way is the ocean?
Gotcha. Okay, so for the ocean, it would be top right of the map or northeast. For like land, from what you could probably tell, probably south west. Bless you. Also, I figured out how to do this thing. 'Cause I am dumb and I didn't know how to do it earlier. But now I'm smart and I got it. Watch this. Production value. Shoot, that's too bright. Dang it. Crap. Alright, we got it. We got there eventually. Alright. Alright, let me do the same thing for Bjorn.
Well,
Alright. That being said, where you guys headed?
well, friends, I think we should head to some dry land. We've already had 2 people fall into the water, and I wouldn't like to risk anything else. Let's. I don't think many of us have our sea legs.
Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which direction are we going exactly?
Southwest.
Southwest looks to be where the land is.
Alright. That being said, at about this point, stop right there, Bjorn and Graz, and you two, Thorin, Lika and Anth. So at this point, when you're walking over here, you see, you hear a crack beneath yourselves for a brief moment, and you sort of freeze. What are you guys all doing? You do see a crack underneath. Oh boy. Oh man, that's
I bent down
that's
and
all of
used
you.
mending.
Oh god. Actually, no, Graz is
I bent
fine.
down and used mending.
Bend down and use mending smart. You cast out of the spell and you mend the ice back together. Alright. That being said, over in the area towards Lika, Anth, and Bjorn, you're barely in the AoE area, but that being said, what are you three doing? Just moving
I'm seeing that
slowly,
there's a corpse right beside me. How bad is the ice near the corpse?
Cracked heavily. As it's like,
will
as it cracks from your footstep, it is slowly but surely, like, cracking over towards the corpse. With each second passing.
I'm going to look over to Anth. I'm like, there's only one way we can do this. We can do this very softly and gently, or risk it and dash as far as we can towards this. But I'm doing this in like really soft, squeaky. There's a little bit of bits of like bear kinfolk in there, but it's like.
I'm not quite sure what you're getting at.
Just out of character, can we investigate the area?
Yeah, if you want to. What are you looking for specifically, though?
Patches where the cracks of ice would be. Maybe this is more like survival. I don't really want to go back into the water.
I could raise you 3 checks.
That is a no-go for me.
So you got 3 choices. You can either do survival, perception, or investigation. Your choice.
Well, let's go survival. Because if I do investigation, I'm not that smart. I would like to survive.
I'd like to use perception to see if there's any like what appears, what would appear to me as a like. Oh, whoops. Well.
Oh no.
Yeah, I suppose I don't see anything that's useful with that.
Well, what were you trying to do? That's the question.
To see like anything like that seems like anything that seems to be a spot on the ice that isn't cracked or could be a safe direction to carefully move to.
Yeah. I mean, with a 6 or 7, I mean, it's not like too terrible of a DC. It's not like hiding from you.
Right?
You can see like general areas to like probably like, oh, don't want to step there, sort of deal.
Yeah.
That being said, so are you all moving? So what I hear, are you moving just at a slower pace?
I think Anthrax would be trying to like just keep his feet planted on the ice and slide away to any direction that seems to be more durable, just carefully.
All right, easy enough. You do see a giant sort of rocky structure over here that's more durable. Everybody make a perception check for me, though. 16, 19, 12. That's easy enough between everybody. So, here's what happens. So, as you look forth, you see, between pretty much the majority of you, you see all the way down to the side that, well, 2 things. One, you see the more sturdier structure seems to be closer towards that of the rocks, as well as where this sort of ship hull is, but also, far off into the distance, those who rolled a 10 or higher. Well, everybody's able to at least pick up this, but everybody sees that the snow is beginning to pick up even more. So, it's heavier from what it seems like. The fog is also getting a little bit denser. Those who rolled a 15, or excuse me, that of a 10 or higher, from just general knowledge and that of the Azure Taiga, if your character is like they're from the Azure Taiga, they know that chances are, and you don't want to say it, but it's a terrible thing, chances are there's a possible blizzard coming in. How long? Oof. Couple dozen minutes. Ain't got much time. And
We need to find a safe space, right?
that would probably be your best bet. That being said, a couple dozen minutes is if you're lucky, but you ain't got much time. That being said,
We
where are you
should
guys
try
going?
to
What are you
get
doing?
off of the ice. We can make a shelter essentially in the snow. If we could find a cave, that would be better, but we should focus on getting off of the ice as much as we can.
We could also use the ship's hull as a shelter if we don't get to the land in time.
What if it collapses? That goes under while we are there.
Well, a blizzard normally means it's getting colder, so the ice is probably gonna get a little stronger. And snow tends to provide some like padding to where the ice
Why
will
if-
crack.
But we have to start a fire, right?
True. We don't want to burn the ship down.
Decisions,
And I get
decisions.
warmer in the ship.
I seem to have some faith in the rocky crags. There definitely might be some caves. There's plenty of rocks, plenty of mountains, so we could try to make a shelter out of that.
Let's get to land, I would say.
Just make sure to spread out. If we keep our weight in one place, it would cause the ice to crack. Spread out, go slow, and we'll make it there. Just be swift.
Okay, let's go.
All right, you guys continue forth. At this point, Bjorn, you're getting closer to that of the hall, and you can see it's, as it is, a lot worse than what you saw from a distance, completely just ripped in half and placed here.
Well, that doesn't look like much protection.
That being said, Thorn, make a perception check for me. At this point, yeah, Bjorn and Groswarl, you two. You're about at the point where you guys can at least have a chance to see it. 24. Alright, and then Groswarl. For Bjorn, in the corner of your eye, ever perceptive, you look over and you see a small little alcove, with even that of sort of like in between the crags of the rocks, and also having a little bit of a wood sort of covering off over here, in this direction. I don't know if the ping worked, but off in this direction. But choice is yours on which direction you want to go. Because you mentioned
Do you
it.
see something there?
Friends, I think I found a shelter. It's on hard land. There's a cover from looks like ship wreckage.
You do see as the ice begins to crack for a little bit, as you guys all begin to get closer towards one another. Immediately dashes over off to the side. Oh man. That being said, you see this sort of small, haphazard shelter that seems to lead into a little smaller, like little, I don't want to call it a cave, but like a small little area further inside of the stone. And it seems to just be covered over by that of this sort of wood planks and whatnot. Granted, you would have to climb up to get here, but it's not too difficult to do. It takes you a little bit of time if you want to, but yeah, you can just climb it.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb up. I'm gonna climb up and scout it out.
Alrighty. Bemroth, were you saying something?
I'm gonna climb up as well.
Gotcha. So if Bjorn, if you are scouting it out, make a perception check or investigation check, your choice. With a 9, you're able to at least see this. You do see a couple of actual materials and just haphazard and scattered things off to the side, somewhere like further into that of the small little alcove. You also see, even with your 9, you do see a, what is that? How is this? Okay. You do see a couple of water skins from what you can tell. No signs of anybody in here or around, or signs of life that have been here recently, though.
Friends, I think this shelter looks safe. I wouldn't want to take our chances venturing in any further with what looks like a blizzard coming. I think this might be where we should settle down.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Definitely. I will climb up as well.
Alright, easy enough.
Is this a ledge here as well?
Yeah, it's a ledge. It's above the little platform, like the roof of everything, but yeah, it is a ledge.
Can I climb up here?
Yeah, if you want to.
And I see the structure right over here, for
Yep.
sure, right?
100%. Anything your tokens can see, you can see.
Is that an open, like, hole?
Yes. So what you can see is, like, it seems to be a small little like rocky or stone structure, and it seems to have something completely destroy whatever it actually was. There's a hole that leads into it, but from what you can tell, it's not much of anything in it besides that of another corpse, as well as a handful of things. The walls do provide a little bit of cover, but as much as it can.
How far off is the storm right now?
From what you can tell, maybe only a couple minutes, like 5 to 7.
She would block that and be like, there's this like a tower cutout thing over on the side there. I mean, it's got a hole over top of it, and then there's this structure here. Shouting out in Bearkin, as Raral's name, which is pronounced perfectly in Red Panda. But where should we stay? Is basically the question she would ask in general for everyone.
I think the shelter we found in the crag looks sturdy enough. There's enough space to at least get a fire going without the snow snuffing it out too much, I think. I wouldn't risk going anywhere, and it's not like anyone is gonna get there first in this weather.
Hey,
We'll wait till the blizzard passes, and then we'll explore.
Hey, Grazwell, make a... Hold on, let me see something real quick. Sure, you're passive. Okay. Hey, yeah, Grazwell, make a, just a general investigation check for me.
Investigation.
13. From what you can tell, this structure does seem to be like that of a tower. Or the more important thing is, you know, towers are obviously, they scale into an imaginable size. But where's the other top half? You look around and you see as there's bits of debris sort of scattered about, and down further as well, bits of stone. And with your 13 on investigation, you see a couple of almost blasting marks. Something from that of an explosion that happened. Doesn't seem that this just fell over by just general debris or decay or anything like that. This was exploded.
Is there a way to tell if the explosion was like someone fired an explosive projectile at it, or like a boiler exploded from inside the structure?
From what you can tell, it looks like something hit it. Something was fired at it.
Fireball.
That sounds great. Is there any form of structure left in the tower, since like the top of it is off, but was it like multi-storied, so there would be like any shelter inside there?
Explain that again. My brain's small. Sorry.
Like it's all good. Like, is it like a tower with like multiple stories where like, okay, the top 2 stories of the thing came off, but there are still like 2 at the bottom, so like theoretically there could be shelter in what's left of the tower?
So the strange part about it is yes and no. So only like the first level, and most of the walls are completely broken, right? You could probably, I mean, you can't really tell like how tall the tower would have been, but it definitely had at least another floor, or probably 2. 3 is pushing it, but it's possible, you know?
Do you see if there's like a basement? Like if there's an underground section?
If you're asking for a basement, you don't see any sort of stairs or anything, at least in this area, leading underground to it, though.
Okay. Would there be any, like how there's kind of like the wooden pieces for the shelter that everybody else is at right now? Are there any big pieces of debris or anything that I could bring over to that, to like our makeshift shelter, to like make it a little more like windproof?
Make an investigation check, or actually, this would be a survival check.
Plus 4 survival.
I'll let you choose either. Yeah. All right, 22. Ooh, good stuff. So, we will get back to you in a moment. That being said, what are the rest of you all doing over here?
They say we should build a fire.
Yes, yes, I agree. I agree.
At that point, we can melt some snow. We can use these water skins and at least grab some snow and melt it and make sure we're all hydrated and warm.
I only have a few torches left. She can't count. Can use those.
Could we gather like some of like smaller pieces of debris to build a fire with?
You can try to scrounge around a couple of things. You'd probably have to go outside a little bit, grab some wood, and throw it into throw it and basically make a fire that way. But yeah, you can try to do so. That being said, if you want to,
yell.
Hmm?
Give me all the wood that you find to dry it out.
Oh yeah, let's do that. I also yell out to Groz, and I'm like, Groz, sister, did you find some wood around the nest earlier? Did you bring that with you?
You know what? She probably did find the wood, but then as soon as the ice cracked and she had to drop to like all fours to better distribute her weight, she probably didn't bring it with.
yeah. Oh man.
Sorry.
All right.
No worries. It seems like we've got enough here. And then I go and I try to scavenge some like salvageable pieces, and then I give them to Thorin to dry them out.
With prestidigitation.
All right, easy enough. As you're able to sort of clean out of the wood and make sure that it's dry and stuff, you're able to do so easily enough with that of prestidigitation. You guys all begin to form and place all of that of the debris that you have, and make that of a small, simple fire. Fire that can at least aid you and keep you warm throughout the night. But on top of that, I need you all to roll a D, or one of you to roll a D100. As you find a little bit of materials around.
Ooh.
81, or excuse me, not a D100, D20, my bad.
Oh damn. Should I roll it again? I don't know if I can roll it that well again.
Oh man.
I can do it.
Well, it's not really like if you roll a 1, it's bad.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, we'll take.
Whoops!
Don't worry, we'll take
I
the first one.
two. No,
Oh
yeah.
no.
It's all good. All good.
That's funny. All right. So here's what? That is something. Hold on 1 minute. I gotta make sure and confirm what that is. Huh. Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay. That one. So, here's what you guys find. You find in this simple area a crate of the sorts, and just sort of scrounging around looking about. You find that of a hefty amount of that of, well, this sort of I guess there's no better way to put it, gunpowder. Yeah. You find this bit of gunpowder that seems laid about, and it is a lot of it, to be fair. Possibly one of the bits of gunpowder used for that of the ship. Hard to tell. But, and with your background, and because I know you, you look at it, and it seems to be fairly undamaged. That thing could go, or fetch a nice price. I mean a hefty price. At least 200 gold's worth. At least. It is a lot of gunpowder. The problem is, one, who the hell are you gonna sell it to? And two, how are you gonna carry that thing? But that is, you do find that. As well, on top of that, something a little more universally useful. you guys find that of a stock of water out of the water or the water skins. Now let me explain what stocks and stuff like that are in my games. So because Voden is a somewhat survival, not really, it's a very, very light and survival sort of world and has aspects of it. For scavenging and finding materials, we use that of a little bit of a system that I like to call the rucksack system or the stock system, whatever you want to call it, whatever. The idea is you don't have to worry about scrounging around like every single bit of material, every single nook and cranny, everything has a different item and has different properties and all the other stuff. You don't have to worry about it. Essentially what you can, or you'll end up finding, is one of the 5 resources as a stock. And those resources can be used to do multiple different things. You guys just found a stock of water, which obviously you can drink to, you know, not die of thirst and all that other stuff. And you guys can also, if you ever want to, for whatever reason, I don't know if you'll do it in this campaign, but if you ever want to, if you ever want to build like a base or anything like that, or structures or just general things or anything at all, sometimes you may need to use water to help with that. The 5 resources that you guys can sort of gain is that of medicine, food, water, mana, and materials. All right. So again, food, water, medicine, mana, and materials, and all that other stuff. That being said, so I will add that to your group for Rime the Frostmaiden as soon as I can find it where it went. There we go. Oh, I gotta do it on my end. Sorry about that. And boom. And you'll see in the chat as it, or essentially it, whoops, wrong thing. As it adds up and all that stuff. You don't have to really worry about tracking it. That's kind of on, or for me to do, but if you want to track it, you make sure to fact check everything so I don't accidentally forget stuff, which I will do probably often. You can also do so. You know me. But yeah. That being said, while that you guys are finding all that, meanwhile, Groswarrel, what you find with your, I believe, what did you get again? I believe it was a 20, unless I'm crazy.
Was a 22.
22, there we go. So, what you find here is that you find a couple things such as just general materials that you can use to sort of help build that of a fire, but you also find 2 stocks of medicine. You find a couple of healing potions and other things that can be used to craft multiple different things. You can use medicine to craft a multitude of things such as health potions, obviously, and also poisons if you ever want to. And we can, if you ever want to craft anything or any sort of general whatevers or potions like that are not just healing or poisons, just let me know and we can walk you through that process. But in order to craft those things, you got to do that on a short rest or a long rest. So there you go. But the other thing that you find a couple of more just sort of papers and whatnot, and you find specifically that of a journal off to the side. Seems to be in fairly good condition, but for the most part covered in snow.
I would like to read it.
All right, you read the journal, and here's what you find. Now, it reads the following. It's been so long since I've really seen that of life, even that of many of the animals. Seems to be that more and more of them are essentially approaching day by day. We try to struggle and fight to deal with them and hold off the forces, but the weaponry is more advanced than us. We're going to have to leave shortly. The Astral King believes that we can try to hold off the front as long as we can, but they even have sort of more advanced firearms than us, capable of even explosions. We're barely able to even sort of salvage what's rest of this tower. But we'll have to see. That being said, we'll travel forth. Probably back to Caer Dineval. And hope for the best. See if we can find resources there. You'll see. And it is essentially dated. Oh boy, I'll make sure I got this right. One moment. You see, as it is dated, 606. Being the year. Groswarl.
What year is it now?
It was 604.
So we've been out for a long time.
Yep. At least 2 years.
Can I, like, see if I can tell how old the journal is?
Well, this is just Groz sort of just reading it out off herself. She can bring it back and just like read it out to you.
Oh,
if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
If that's everything that she finds, then
Yeah.
she'll bring that all back and then show everyone the journal and kind of like she just kind of like hands it over, like holds it out, waiting for somebody to take it, and has like a stunned look on her face and doesn't know what to do and doesn't even just like say anything, just like puts her hand out and sits down and kind of stares.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll take it, and I mean, I guess I meant, like, by the age of the journal, can I, like, tell by looking at the materials and the pages, like, how old it's been? Like, sure, it's 2 years, can I tell if it's been longer than that?
Yeah, make an investigation check for me. Six. Hard to tell. You're kind of sort of focused on just generally like keeping warm, but even with a 6, it seems to be that the snow and the ice and just general cold has sort of preserved it, at least from that of sort of suffering any further damage. It was in fact just sort of sticking out of the snow just barely, so you hope to at least find it. But this thing has been at least where it was for a long while. How long? I'm not entirely sure.
While we're sitting there, I'm going to take out my stein that held the ice cream and I'm going to look at it for mold.
Seems fine.
Probably ice cream.
She kind of licks his center a little bit, just kind of as a comfort measure, and just be like, okay.
Yeah. And would be going through the notes that he found on the ice from the man who was supposed to be like our guide on this adventure by the nest.
All right. Easy enough. As you begin to read it, it reads roughly the following. Now, granted, looking about it, it does. Well, actually, I want to make sure. Wait. Oh, wrong thing. My bad. Give me one moment.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, there it is. There we go. Okay, you read roughly the following. So, I'll be honest, I don't know where the others are, and I, quite frankly, don't even know how I survived all of this. But here I am. Leosa's nowhere to be found. Most of at least the crew, seems to be dead and such. I don't understand. I woke up with this strange sort of mark on my hand, but it won't seem to go away. For some reason. I hear it and it sort of speaks to me. Multiple voices. all different pitches and tones. I don't know. Maybe I'm going delusional or something, but I have to keep pressing forward. Maybe I'll be able to find shelter. Next entry, you find that it seems to be cut short, but it seems to be, or say, roughly the following. It's been a while since I've at least seen, well, at least a bit of, or a sign of life. But, I've been tracking forth this other shadow. Dear Karanos, I hope that this isn't just a mirage or something. Please. But, I seem to be getting closer at the least. I'll try to make myself known once they stop, and hopefully before the blizzard occurs. And hopefully everything will work out fine. And that is where it's cut off. And you do make a... It's kind of hard to tell whether that would be the sign of it, but just the notes in general, they do seem to be bloodied, for sure. So, not entirely sure if that was like after that was the reason, but I mean, again, just from like all the corpses and whatnot around, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But you do see you don't really see like a date, you do see like days, like numbered days. Seemed to be that was on, well, day 5, last entry.
Alright.
That being said, as you all are reading about this, you're looking about and your vision begins to get weaker and weaker, and more snow begins to fall upon the surrounding area. It seeps through that of the little wood, but not too much. Nothing to sort of fret or worry about. And as it does, you begin to freeze and shiver a little further, but the warmth of the fire keeping you. Lika and Groswarl, you feel a chill that at least catches a cold, probably from that of the recent sort of incident of diving into that of the water, but it is what it is. At this point in time, you do watch as that of the fog around begins to thicken even more. You all are tired, you all are exhausted, but you have many questions and things to discuss. That being said, is there anything you all say or do?
2 years. We've been out for at least 2 years.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Maybe being frozen had something to do with our preservation, but if we were under the ocean that cold for that long, we should have died. Yet here we are. Marks on our hands. Different, but we've all got them. And this journal, something similar happened to this man, but 2 years ago.
You wouldn't actually be able to tell when he wrote it. It just has the date. You don't know what year it would have been. It could have been more recent, but it also could have been a lot older. Not entirely sure.
Oh. You have at least a location and what's nearby? And she's going to look straight at Groswarl and everyone and we're still alive. Does everybody have food? And we've got water. That smells gross over there. She points towards the crate over there that that is there. You think it'll make us warmer if we put that into the fire?
No.
Oh, yeah, that's not a good not a good idea.
Okay.
Don't think.
I mean, I well, obviously the torches are going to be pretty important. So like maybe we can't use too many of these. She's gonna take like whatever 4 and set it aside that hasn't been used. Curl her tail in it and be like, well, you look kind of injured. You look kind of injured. I have frost I have to pick out through my tail. So, think about it in the morning or whenever the snow lightens up.
I think now it's probably best that we rest. I'm sure we're all exhausted and, we can't really do much until this blizzard comes over.
Yeah, rest sounds like a good idea.
Alright. So, the party is getting ready to rest. Is anybody doing anything at all before we head into our night watches in that phase?
Nope. Thank you.
Alrighty. If that's the case. Alrighty, so let's explain how watches work. So there are essentially 3 watches that you have to take. Are you guys taking watch? I guess that's a better question.
Cross
I
is
mean-
going to offer to take first watch.
Alright.
I mean, we are in a blizzard.
That being said, so if you are taking watches, here's how it works. Essentially, you at least need 1 person to keep watch. You can have 2 or 3, however many, but only 1 person can watch for. Only 1 person can do 1 watch. They can't do like Groswell can't do the first watch and then also the 3rd watch. She only can do 1. You know what I mean? That sort of whole deal.
Okay.
If you do so with another person, you do get to assist each other in your perception checks to sort of just scout out the area just in case, as well. But the choice is yours. That being said, if you are taking watch, who is going first?
I think Graz and I should go first. We are familiar with the taiga. Not this area, but we know our way we know how to survive here.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. That being said, so Graz and that of Bjorn. First, before you do anything, make perception checks for me. 12 and 12. Alright, I'll remember that number for the future. That being said, now a watch takes about 2 to 3 hours or so, probably upwards to at least 3 hours and so. That being said, as you're going about this watch, are you guys just sort of sitting there, just sort of not saying a word, not talking to one another, just staring out towards the blizzard? Are you conversing with one another? Are you working on stuff in the meantime? What are you guys saying or doing as you guys are watching throughout that time?
I'm mostly just kind of keeping quiet, trying to, rest my body as much as possible while staying awake and sharpening my tools and maybe tinkering with a small thing.
Cross is going to be like alternating, like looking outside, but also like maintaining the fire to make sure that it doesn't, go out or whatever, but also making sure that like the way that the snow is building up around everything isn't like going to completely box us in and then we all die of carbon monoxide poisoning.
That would not be good. That would not be good. Oh boy, one moment. It's gonna be annoying. Yeah, I think I can do it this way. Alrighty. That being said, as you all are going about your watch, it is a quiet one. Granted, throughout that of the blizzard and snow, kind of hard to, or much to really even see. However, 12, for both of you, you begin to see seeping past you all, a wispy figure sort of floating around, and you see this individual. Seems to be purplish in nature, as they're just slowly but surely looking around, and then floats on by past that of your sort of encampment. You then see as it begins to sort of stop for a brief moment, as it's wailing for a little bit. And then continues forward. You see as it's looking for something. Someone, I'm not entirely sure. But you see as it begins to head forth and above. That being said, what are you, at this moment, as this sort of looking around or something, what are you guys doing?
Just kind of look to Graz, and I'm just like,
See as it looks about. And as it does, it begins to continue forth towards about... Oh wait, hold on, I gotta drag it from over here. You see as it begins to continue forth, eventually sort of rearing its head back over, and then eventually passing by until it goes towards this location. And eventually, you see as it seeps into that of the rock, and then vanishes. As it does, the rest of your watch goes uneventful. That being said...
do I recognize...
Go ahead.
Do I recognize what the figure was at all?
Make a nature check for me.
Can I also roll for that too?
Yeah, go for it. 1916. That was essentially well, definitely an undead or a ghost, but specifically with your 16 and 19s, that was specifically a specter of the sorts. You're not entirely sure whether it, like, noticed you or anything like that, but, I mean, it didn't seem to... I mean, it seemed to be looking for something, and it said where. Seems like it was unsuccessful in finding whatever it wanted. Who or what it may have been. And why it was looking for it, you're not entirely sure. Most specters, for the most part, are fairly, hostile to living creatures and things. And that one seemed to just be a wandering soul. That being said, is there anything you say or do before you end your watch?
I think while we're changing watch to whoever goes next, we're gonna make sure to tell them about the specter.
Yeah.
But,
Easy enough.
But to just be quiet.
Yeah, tell them not to engage at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got it. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, frick. Did you? Nah, that's fine. Okay. There we go. That being said, alright. So, who is next for the second watch?
Yes, I can go for the second one.
Alrighty. You got it. Anybody joining Thorin? Or you're going or you're flying solo?
guess I'll go solo.
You got it.
There's a loud snort from the corner as the tail kind of hits Thorn's leg a little bit. She kind of curls in on herself and kind of pulls it right over so she's hugging it like a body pillow.
Oh man. Alright, that being said. Oh, go ahead.
No, nothing important.
Alrighty. That being said, Thorin, make a perception check for the remainder of your watch.
Also,
Alright.
Just-
Mm-hmm.
just because they were talking about a spectre,
Mm-hmm.
I'm also gonna have detect magic for a while. On.
Detect magic. I see. What is the range on that exactly?
30 feet.
30 feet? Good to know. Alrighty. Yep. Out there. So, throughout your watch, you don't really see much of anything or hear much of anything. And then, eventually you get a ping of evocation magic. Also that
Which direction?
you feel it that of here. So, yeah, I believe it's just evocation. Yeah. So let me make sure of one other thing. And it's another magic type. Just gotta make sure. And conjuration. I said it's conjuration. You also hear that of a sort of rumbling off to kind of the side, off over here. Seems to be something moving. That being said, are you doing anything or not?
Try to get like slightly higher ground and just have a look what it is.
All right. You may move your token. All right, getting a little bit of higher ground. You look forth, and you see that of a small figure over that of a body. It seems to be kind of just sort of sniffing something, sniffing a corpse. The corpse itself, small in size, it seems to be that of a halfling who seems to be in horrendous condition. That being said, are you getting closer to get a better look, or standing from here?
So something is eating a corpse.
From what you can see, sniffing a corpse, more like it.
Okay. I just observe for a while.
Alright. You observe, and you see as a smaller individual seems to eventually just sort of stand on that of the sort of, or on that of the corpse, just sort of sniffing, trying to staring at it. And you see as it just sort of seems to have like almost black fur, but also white fur. And you see for a brief moment in time a surge of purple. And
We
you,
go forward.
I'll see. One moment.
I know what it is.
You see.
Or who. I remember.
This.
There we go. There he is.
You see as he is just sort of sniffing and just sort of snarling at that of or on top of the corpse. Just sort of biting or trying to bite down and spits it out.
I take out some of my food and just whistle and call him over. Kinda taunting him with the food to get here.
As you immediately do that, you see as he just looks up, eyes go wide, and immediately zaps over directly towards you and just pounces onto you and just starts licking you to death. Just immediately, just sort of little shot kisses and everything. Like, I'll tell you what, make a strength saving throw.
Oh, God.
Uh,
Why strength?
You also see as he is definitely bigger in size than the last time you saw him, but a 12, you see, you get pounced on, but you're able to sort of right yourself and not completely get toppled over by the little guy. But that being said, you see as he just is looking forth and he looks towards that of your, or you said, what were you holding? Or holding in your hand, you said a little bit of food, or no?
It's one of the rations.
One of the rations. You see as he just looks over at it and he's just like gives you a big old puppy dog eyes.
And I just give it to him.
He just bites down and just eviscerates it, just tearing it limb from limb. And as he does, he just begins to go. "Arr!" At that point, all of you kind of, unless you guys are heavy sleepers, you probably hear that. And you do hear a dog.
An ear flicks, and for the moment, the pointy part of her tail, at this point, it just stiffens. And she relaxes, and there's a big, loud snore as she rolls over on her back, tail splayed out like starfish in her corner. Completely unaware.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Is this bark familiar?
I mean, you're a druid. I would say yeah, it's familiar to you. I'll give that to you. It is familiar.
Okay, alright. I'm like, Zappy?
You see, it just looks over directly towards you, immediately just rushes over and just almost begins to sort of pounce upon you and just start licking your face. Electricity surging and all.
Oh, that's a good boy. Oh, that's, what a relief it is to see you. Oh, goodness.
You do see at the least, there is now kind of, he is bigger, obviously, but there also seems to be kind of like an icy necklace of some sort, like a little bit of ice sort of around that of his neck. Kind of like a collar, but not really. Did I say that again?
Can I inspect it or investigate it?
You got it. Easy enough, no checks really needed. You look over and it seems to be in that of an astral light. Blues, greens, and purples. Kind of similar to that of the crystal prison that you all were in. However, it seems to still be there.
Seems like remains of the crystal.
Seems like you survived just as well as we did, boy. You seem to have aged.
Which sort of poses the question. So you see this little figure with that of the necklace. And it seems to be that he aged, but just sort of think about it for a brief moment. Did you? Look around, I mean, don't feel older or anything like that. Seems fine. But this creature is undoubtedly, they've aged a bit. So.
I look at the mark and move the mark a little bit closer to the color.
You do see his thorn with your mark, it does actually glow that same sort of purple color. Do you press upon it, or just keeping it close?
Yeah.
You do see as it begins to slowly freeze over and crack like ice and shatter off. As it drops down, you see as it begins to dissipate from solid crystal to that of dust.
And I look at Zappy's paw.
Look towards his paw. Seems to be just a paw.
Can I check all 4 of his paws?
Yeah, I assume so. Yeah, it seems to be just nothing on him.
No marks.
No marks. No marks. Not from what you can tell. You do see, however, you said you're checking every single paw. You do see, just from passive investigation, as you're sort of like pressing a paw and just seeing your hand, Bjorn, it seems to have that kind of strange that kind of magnetic sort of push or pull onto one of Zappy's paws, though. However, there is nothing there.
I just keep petting him and I'm like, well, it's good to have you back with us, boy.
You see as he just sort of licks your face and then begins to constantly try to like scrounge around for food, but it seems to be that he remembers you at the least. And he just sort of sits there residing by you. Curled up.
Here comes some more food.
Thorn, you do see as if you give him more food, he does actually sort of like make it a thing to try to sit in between both of you.
Yeah, I'm giving him one more Russian.
You got it. He devours it and like you swear he inhales it for a moment. That being said,
Hungry.
yeah. That being said, Thorin, your watch goes, for the most part, uneventful. Is there anything else you'd like to do before waking the others?
No, just waking them up.
Alright.
Whoever is going. I guess waking up the panda.
You got it.
Andy. And Ant.
Right.
That being said, Lika and Anth, you awaken from your slumber, and as you do see the Blink Dog and Zappy, as his name is. That being said, you may do as you wish, but let me know when you are ready to take your watch, and when you are ready, then just make a perception check.
Okay. Seeing the dog, I will look straight at the dog in the eye.
It just sort of
Sniff the air a little bit. My head to the side.
it mimics you. It just cocks its head to the side, just with its tongue like lolling out. It has like
She's
literally
gonna-
a blank sort of face. Like it's just it has the little face like I'm just happy to be here sort of deal.
Okay. She's gonna be like, okay. And perception checks.
All right, perception checks. You got it.
Sure.
9 and let's see what you got. And ooh, a 7 and a 9. Oh man. Alrighty. That being said, okay. Is there anything you guys talk about or do throughout your watch over the course of 3 hours?
I suppose not. It seems like it's been some time since we left for this land, and I think our plan for, well, expanding our business and trying to get new customers kind of went sideways, I suppose. But do you
Business
want-
strategy.
Yeah. I think we should have plenty of time after we survive this, and I mean, we will survive this for certain. And we shall see what our future holds again. But now at least it seems like we are kind of free to do whatever we want once we get our hands on this new land.
I don't know what I want to do. What do you want to do?
Still a little on the open, but hey, at least if nothing else, we can become ice cream sellers once again.
Oh, yeah. Do you think shaved ice will be a popular thing?
Who knows? Maybe.
I
Only
need to
time will tell.
find. Oh, I've never had shaved ice before.
Well,
think-
let's hope for a bright future, and you'll get to taste all the different kinds you want. First, we would have to
Okay.
get through all this.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Did anyone tell you anything of what we had to do for our watch?
Just keep our eyes open, and well,
Okay.
if anything happens, we'll just make sure everyone wakes up. I have my ways to do that if it comes to it.
Okay. I'm gonna stoke the fire. Stokes the fire.
Easy enough.
Wait,
Does not know what she's doing, but she saw other people doing it before she went to sleep, and she's going to nudge like a little tiny kindling stick right into the fire.
just
And
makes
she expects it to go up like she saw the others go up, but it doesn't do anything.
it's just and kind of nervously just looks at the gunpowder barrels at the back and hopes that nothing goes wrong here.
Oh, man. That being said, oh boy. Lika. Got the highest perception check. Actually, no, you both probably hear it. But how long ago did you hear it? You both hear several footsteps. Bits of cracking from afar, like cracking ice. From this direction.
Hear that?
Yep. And just turns to look at the direction and does nothing further right now.
It's kind of hard to tell.
Lika's actually. Can I go out just like towards the lip of where we are, just kind of over here into the ledge, away from the firelight a little bit, and see as far as I can go?
Yeah. Move your token.
To
You got it.
investigate it.
Yeah. Make an investigation check or a perception check. Your choice.
I mean, there's a +1 and a -1 difference. I went with perception.
16. Perception. Let's go. So, Lika, as you glance over, sort of just peering out just to see what's going on, you see a horrifying sight. Lika, oh, also one moment. Oh boy, it's time. Lika, you look over and you see several dozens upon dozens upon dozens of shambling individuals, ragged and torn clothing, half frozen, all sort of shambling and moving sort of forward. And you see this. Oh boy. It's loading. Oh goodness. All the way over here. And with that, let me reveal a little bit of lighting for you, so you guys can all see exactly what this is. One moment. Configure. Let's go drop this off real quick. And boom. Save changes. You all see that. Of several dozens, if not maybe even 100 of these individuals moving forward. However, that's not the worst part. You look over, and each and every one of them are coursing with this astral light about them. Their heads barely together and construed amongst one another by this strange sort of Nyx magic and force. You see the area and the sort of mist around them is slowly being corrupted into that of this ever-changing astral light as well. and you watch them as they're all approaching roughly the direction of your camp.
Right away, Lika is going to go towards the fire and dose it. Like, she's going to get rid of it. She's going to take her tail and swipe it as quickly and quietly as she can. Like, just getting rid of the fire.
And as you begin to do so, you put out that of the light, snuffing it immediately. And as you
Then I'll
do,
turn over to Benroth and then I'll go over to Anth, who probably is looking at me, dashing and going, bad.
and as you wake them, trying to immediately just sort of silence them, you just prevent them from making any sort of subtle movements, any sort of sounds. You see as they begin to march closer and closer, before you just hear this. And with that, that's where we'll end today's session. Oh,
Typical.
man. Oh, goodness. Goodness. Ah, gosh. So we're gonna have to see all of what's gonna entail with that, as you guys see an astral horde of none other than the corruption itself. Oh, God. And
You know what I was expecting?
What were you expecting, buddy?
All those tokens that you had as dead coming back to life instead of this.
Funny you mentioned that. Oh boy.
But
Well,
I have a plan
if you-
that includes gunpowder.
A little bit of a thing. You actually do see, as they do begin to slowly animate, but we're gonna have to figure out all of that next week on Rime of the Frostmaiden. Thank you guys for playing, and I hope you guys had a freaking wonderful time. Sorry about the little tech issues at the beginning, but yeah, that was freaking fun. Can't wait for next week. Oh my god. Oh,
Thank you so
goodness.
much. You were
thank
amazing.
you.
Everybody was brilliant. This was so fun. I am going to die, but that's okay.
You know, at the very least, I'm glad, like, Zappy was not dead, because I feel like if I had to fight an undead Zappy, I would cry.
Yeah. What you guys want from me? You thought I was gonna
die.
kill the dog? I'm not that much of a monster, Jesus. When I said I'm a
Let's
dog
not make
person, I'm a
this a
dog
John-
person.
No. This is like
Oh,
a
man.
John Wick situation.
Right?
But I thought it was also comedy, because it just so happened to be like this in my notes or whatever, and I thought about it like at the beginning of this session. So, funny enough, Sands of Sin, they also kind of have a companion who's a cat, but they're also a cactus.
Aw,
They're a cactus cat. And you guys have a lightning blink dog.
We have a blink dog.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, I imagine if you guys ever meet, it's just gonna be freaking the cat versus dog war all over again.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hey,
Well-
I have no spell slots.
Oh, man. Oh, I will say, if you guys would have gotten at least a short rest. You would have gotten
Yeah,
a
I was
short
gonna
rest at
say,
the least.
That was
But,
definitely a rest.
we're
Yeah,
gonna
that doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. So that being said, we're gonna have to figure out, if you guys are gonna freaking fight, run away, stealth, hide, whatever. We'll have to figure that out. But I'm gonna go break down stream, real quick. Be right back. Oh, boy.
We are dead.
Oh man, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Hello, how's it going, everybody in chat? Oh, I need to change my follower goal and stuff like that. But yeah, hey everybody, my name is SenseiSuplex, and I am the D&D Sensei, or essentially I help each and every one of you guys bring your games to the next level, and giving that of actionable tips on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and more. But yeah, we also run that of a persistent universe that you guys actually just witnessed, that being that of Project Aurora. Just basically, it's a giant universe where any of the 16 campaigns can all affect each other in big or small ways, just like this one. You guys can even affect them in that of get through that Twitch chat by giving out inspiration points, health potions, and all that craziness. But yeah, everybody leaves their mark on the world, so how will you guys? If you want to join into that of the Discord server, maybe even get into that of a game, interact with the community, we have an awesome freaking D&D community. Be sure to click that link and join below. It's in the chat and all of that craziness. Last sort of thing, if you guys want to follow or keep up with me, make sure that you get notified anytime there's a session. Be sure to follow me on that of the Twitters, the Instagrams, the YouTubes, all that stuff. All of those socials and stuff like that are on the or in the little Nightbot command and all that craziness. But yeah, so next session, it's going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and that is going to be next Saturday, so be sure to see you guys there. Also tomorrow we have another session for Soulbound, which is going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and is going to be the beginning of the new campaign of Secrets in the Sands. They're all sort of encompassing, they're all in the same sort of universe of Voden, and you guys can see like all the craziness of that session. But that being said, I'm gonna go see if we have anybody to raid at the moment, and if not, we will see if we can just find some random person. We do have some people we can raid. All right, we're gonna raid over. Oh yeah, also make sure to leave a follow on the channel. It does help us out. We're trying to get the goal of 1,000 followers before the end of the semester. So thank you WH Publications for that. Appreciate you, buddy. But that being said, we're gonna throw it over to our good friends at Roll Together RPG. They're a part of the little stream team, so you guys can go hang out with them, be awesome as you guys usually are, and yeah, just go hang out with them. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next time. Bye. All right.